Today we will complete this chapter, that is binomial theorem. Okay, today I will teach you about the last part of this binomial theorem chapter. Now see, you know what is a binomial theorem, how to expand any binomial theorem. You know about the terms, about the general terms of any binomial theorem. You know about the coefficients of binomial theorem. Now today I will teach you about the last part of this binomial theorem, and this last part consists of the consecutive terms and coefficients. You know about the general term and coefficient of binomial theorem. You know how to find any coefficient of binomial theorem, binomial expansion. You know about the general term also. And now we will be dealing with the consecutive, okay, the consecutive terms and coefficients of any binomial theorem. And this is the last part of this chapter. This is this one of the small part of this chapter, very easy. So please students, listen very carefully. See, I have already written here that problems based on consecutive terms or consecutive coefficients of any binomial expansion. Now how to solve this type of problems? Okay, obviously there will be some technique, there will be some formulas. So let's see here, if consecutive terms or consecutive coefficients in the expansion of x plus a whole to the power n are given, then the consecutive terms are rth term, r plus 1th term and r plus 2th term, that is tr plus 1 and tr plus 2. okay, this is simple logic. Okay, if consecutive terms and consecutive coefficients in the expansion of this are given, then consecutive terms will be rth term, r plus 1th term and the next r plus 2th term, that is tr plus 1 and r plus 2. So this is general logic. Now you see, in case of consecutive terms, we find tr plus 1 by tr and tr by tr minus 1. Now why we have to solve these ratios? Why? Now see, on solving the problems of based on consecutive terms or consecutive coefficients, okay, we have to always compare the consecutive terms or consecutive coefficients. Means we have to always take the ratios. Listen carefully, we have to always take the ratios of consecutive terms and consecutive coefficients to find some equation, so that we can solve that type of problems easily. Okay, in case of problems based on consecutive terms or consecutive coefficient, to solve the problems based on consecutive terms or consecutive coefficients, we always have to compare the consecutive terms and coefficients. Compare means we have to always take the ratios. We have to always find the ratios of consecutive terms and consecutive coefficients to solve that type of problems. Okay, that's why we have to take here, we have to find here tr plus 1 by tr, then tr by tr minus 1. These are the ratios of two consecutive terms. I think you have understood. Say tr plus 1 by tr by tr minus 1. These are the ratios of two consecutive terms. So always, whenever there will be some problem based on the consecutive terms or coefficient, then in that case you have to take the ratios of consecutive terms and coefficients to solve that type of problems. So now see, tr plus 1 by tr, the value is n minus r plus 1 by r into a by x. Okay, why these type of values come? See, this when you expand this the general term of tr plus 1 by the general term of tr, then after expanding the ratios of these two, you will get this. Okay, so always you have to remember this as a formula. Always you have to remember this value as a formula, that is tr plus 1 by tr equals to n minus r plus 1 by r into a by x. Okay, you have to learn this by heart as a formula. Okay, so these are all about the consecutive terms. Okay, now we have to deal with the consecutive coefficients also. So let's see, in case of consecutive coefficients, you have to find the ratios of rth coefficient and r plus 1th coefficient and the coefficient of r plus 1th term and the coefficient of r plus 2th term. Means simply you have to find the ratios of the ratios of the coefficient, the ratios of the consecutive coefficients, that is NCR by NCR minus 1 and NCR plus 1 by NCR. Okay, these are the ratios of coefficients of consecutive terms, means these are the consecutive coefficients. NCR and NCR minus 1 are consecutive coefficients, so you have to find a ratio of this, and NCR plus 1 and NCR also are the consecutive coefficients, so you have to find a ratio of this. Now in this case also, when you expand this NCR and NCR minus 1, then you will get this, so you have to learn these two as a formula. Okay, you have to learn this by heart as a formula. Now see, the value of NCR by NCR minus 1 is n minus r plus 1 by r, and the value of NCR plus 1 by NCR equals to n minus r by r plus 1. Okay, so you have to learn these two formulas, these two ratio, the values of these two ratios as a formula. Now you see, I know that it is very difficult to learn these type of formulas because these are very similar. So please students, listen very carefully. I will also tell you how to learn this type of formulas. You see, NCR by NCR minus 1 equals to n minus r plus 1 by r. Now see, in this case you see NCR by NCR minus 1 will be in the numerator part. See, in the numerator part you have to write the value, but see, first you have to in this case, whenever you have to write the value in the numerator part, you just erase c. Okay, you just remove c in the denominator part, and then you just make difference of n and r minus 1. See, n minus r plus 1. See, automatically if you remove c and if you make the difference, then you will get n minus r plus 1. Now see, n minus r plus 1 in the numerator you have got, divided by only this part. Okay, divided by only this part, that is r. Similarly in this case also, you see students, NCR plus 1 by NCR. So on writing the numerator part, first you should remove this c from the denominator, then you make difference. The difference will be n minus r, and in the denominator part you have to write only this, that is r plus 1. Okay, so this is one small trick to learn this formula. Okay, I know that it is very difficult to learn this type of formulas, so I think you will be able to learn this type of formulas. Please learn properly. Okay, and at first you should follow this small trick to learn this formula, then it will be more easy for you to learn this type of formulas. You see, NCR by NCR minus 1, n minus r plus 1 by r, means first you have to remove this c, then make difference n minus r plus 1 you will get, and in the denominator part you only take this part, then r will become. And here also you see NCR plus 1 by NCR, if you remove c on writing the numerator part, then and make difference, then you will get n minus r, obviously you will get n minus r, and then in the denominator you will write only this part, see, r plus 1. Okay, so please at first you should learn in this way, then on practicing the sums you will easily remember this type of formulas. Okay, so please at first learn in this way that I have shown you, and you have to learn these type of formulas. Okay, because this binomial theorem chapter consists of various types of formula, and only you have to apply this formula on solving the problems logically. Okay, so please learn in this type of way that I have told you right now, then I think you will be able to learn very easily. So now this is a very small part I have already told you. So now let's go to practice the sum. Okay, now see, the first question you see, coefficients of three consecutive terms. See, coefficient, okay, coefficients of three consecutive terms in the expansion of 1 plus x whole to the power n are in the ratio given 1:7:42, and you have to find the value of n. Okay, now see, first you have to write like this, that let the consecutive terms be, obviously I have already shown you rth term, r plus 1th term, and r plus 2th term. Okay, these are the coefficient. Let the consecutive terms be rth term, r plus 1th term, and r plus 2th term. Okay, now see, here it is given that you have to deal with coefficients. Here you see, it is given coefficients of three consecutive terms. Okay, means you have to find the coefficient of these terms, and coefficient means we have already know the formula NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. Okay, so coefficient the coefficient consecutives will be, therefore the consecutive coefficients means the coefficients of these consecutive terms. See, means the coefficients of these consecutive terms will be NCR minus 1, NCR and NCR plus 1, isn't it? You see, first we have to know the terms, know the consecutive terms that we all know are a term, R plus 1 a term, R plus 2 a term, and then you have to see here you have to find the coefficient, because here it is given you that coefficient of three consecutive terms in the expansion of this are in the ratio is given to, and you have to find n. So obviously you have to deal with the coefficient of consecutive terms. Okay, not with the consecutive terms, the coefficient of that consecutive terms. So the coefficients will be NCR minus 1, NCR and NCR plus 1. Now you see, according to the problem, we can write NCR minus 1 is to NCR plus 1 will be equals to the ratio that is given to it. Okay, 1:7:42. Then I have already told you that to solve this type of problems, you have to you have to take the ratio of these consecutive terms and coefficients. Okay, so now take the ratio, that is NCR minus 1 by NCR, which will be equals to 1/7, and NCR by NCR plus 1 equals to 7/42. Okay, see, now you have to solve. And how to solve? See, we already know this formula. We have learned that, see, I have written this formula, NCR by NCR minus 1, we have learned n minus r plus 1, remove c on writing the denominator, n minus r plus 1 by r. Okay, so write in this case NCR minus 1, see, just here it is just given oppositely. Okay, the numerator and denominator, so this will be as r by n minus r plus 1 equals to 1/7, and after solving this we will get n minus 8r plus 1 equals to 0. So now see, I have already told you that you have to solve this type of sums, you have to take the ratios, you have to compare, you have to take the ratios of the consecutive terms and coefficients, so that you can easily solve this, means so that you will get some equation and you can solve the equations and you will get the value of this n. Okay, now see, this is the formula of this, and see the second case, NCR by NCR plus 1. This one also we all know the formula. See, the formula will be r plus 1 by n minus r plus 1 by n minus r will be 1/6, and after solving this you will get n minus 7r minus 6 equals to 0. Now see, you have to solve this equation 1 and equation 2, and after solving this you will get the value of nr, that is the value of r will come 7, and the value will come means value of n will come 55. See how to solve this? You just see, at the first step you have to write the coefficient terms and coefficient you have to write the consecutive terms and consecutive coefficients. Okay, first always comes the terms first. Okay, so please, in the first step you have to write the consecutive terms. Okay, then see, in the question is given the ratio of the coefficient of these consecutive terms. So first we have to write the consecutive terms, then you have to write the coefficients of consecutive terms, then according to the problem you have to take the ratio. Okay, according to the problem you have to take the ratio, and after putting the formula that you have learned, you have to put the value and solve. You will get two equation, and after solving you will get the value of r and n. Okay, so see, these are the very easy sums of these consecutive terms. Okay, means the consecutive part is very easy, only you have to apply logic. Okay, only you have to think logically, and obviously you have to learn these type of formulas, the ratios. Okay, that's it. Now see the next one. Now see the next sum. The next sum is given the coefficients of r minus 1th term, rth term and r plus 1th terms in the expansion of x plus 1 whole to the power nr in the ratio 1:3:5. Find n and r. I think you have understood that this question is very similar as this question, but still there is some difference. What is the difference? Yes, students, you are right. The difference is here we have to take the consecutive terms, that is rth term, r plus 1th term, r plus 2th term, and here they have already given the terms, okay, that is r minus 1th term, rth term, r plus 1th term. Only we have to write the coefficients here, and in this case we cannot write ncr minus 1, okay, we cannot write ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1, we cannot write this. Why? In the first case we have taken the consecutive terms like rth term, r plus 1th term, r plus 2th term. That's why we can take consecutive coefficients as ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1. These terms and coefficients, okay, means for these consecutive terms, these three will be the consecutive coefficients. This we have already learned in the formula, isn't it? In the formula also we have taken the consecutive terms as rth term, r plus 1th term, r plus 2th term, and we have got the formula, we have got the consecutive coefficients, means the coefficients of that consecutive terms. So we have to learn that formula ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1, and we have written this. So these terms and coefficients, these consecutive terms and coefficients are similar that we have read in the formula part, in the first part, okay. But now you see in this case the terms they have already given, that is not rth term, r plus 1th term, r plus 2th term, that we have learned in the formula, and from that we have got ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1, okay. But in this case you see the terms they have given are minus 1 rth term and r plus 1th term, okay. So in this case you see ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1, this will not be the coefficient, okay. Now see, I have written that let the coefficients of r minus 1th term, rth term and r plus 1th term be ncr minus 2, ncr minus 1 and ncr. I think you have understood these are the coefficient terms, means the consecutive coefficients. But you see how can I get this, okay, how can I find the coefficients of any consecutive terms, okay. See, these are given in the formula. In the formula also there is given that for r plus 1th and r plus 2th term, consecutive terms, the consecutive coefficients will be this. This is given in the formula, okay. In the formula list there is given that you have to take the coefficient terms like this, and obviously the consecutive coefficients will be this, okay, in the formula. But see, this is not related to your formula, this is not given in the formula, that for r minus 1th term, rth term, r plus 1th term, what will be the coefficient. In that case you have to write the coefficient, you have to find the coefficients. But how? You see, you just see screens, see here, means in the formula case also we have taken the consecutive terms as rth term, r plus 1th term, r plus 2th term. In the first term we have taken rth term, then we have write ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1. Similarly in this type of case also, see, r minus 1 is given, but we have in the formula we have learned the coefficient, the consecutive terms will be r plus 1 and r plus 2. So now you see, you have to take the first means from the consecutive terms you have to take the first terms as whole as rth term, okay, whole as rth term. Then you see you will get if you take this first term as rth term, then obviously the formula will be ncr minus 1, ncr plus 1, okay, that I have already written here. But now you see, if we take like this, if we take this r minus 1th term as rth term, as we have learned in the formula, in that case ncr, you have to write ncr, nc, and r will be c. We have taken r minus 1th term as r, so nc r minus 1 will be what, r, this is the whole r minus 1, so this will become ncr minus 2, that I have written in the first case, see, okay. Then in the second case also you see, second case we have to write the second case as NCR. No, now you see we can easily write R is here. What we have taken R as R minus 1. So in the second case you see I have written NCR minus 1 because see R term NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. So if in this type of case you have to take the first term whole as R, the first term as R, then you have to put NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. See I have written here this is R minus 1, so NCR minus 2. Then here R is, so the second term is NCR as per the formula NCR, so here R is R minus 1, so this will be NCR minus 1. And in the second case see NCR plus 1. No, you see here NCR plus 1, so NCR, R here means R minus 1, see NCR plus 1 too. So now you see the R, we have taken R here R minus 1, so R minus 1 means R plus 1, so this will cancel out and you will get NCR. I think you have understood that in this type of case how you have to find the coefficients of these consecutive terms. Okay, whenever it is given like this we can easily apply the formula. In the formula that we have learned R a term, R plus 1 a term, R plus 2 a term, and according to these consecutive terms we have to write these consecutive coefficients that we have learned in the formula. But in this type of case where we have already given the consecutive terms like this R minus 1, R plus 1, means anything except this R plus 1 a term and R plus 2 a term, anything except these three, then obviously you cannot apply this NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. So in that case please see, students listen carefully, in that case you have to take the first term. Okay, you have to take the first term whole as R, you have to take the first term whole as R. Okay, you have to take first term whole as R, then you have to split NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. But in this case R will be this, means R will be here your first term that is given R minus 1. So now see NCR minus 1 means NCR means what here R minus 1, you have taken R as R minus 1, so R minus 1, R minus 1, NCR minus 2. In the second case after NCR minus 1 come NCR, R here is R minus 1, so NCR, then NCR plus 1, NCR here is R minus 1, so R minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 will be cancelled and you will get NCR. So I think you have understood that in this type of case how you have to find the coefficient of consecutive terms. Okay, the formula will be, the format will be same, only you have to take the first term whole as R, then you write NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1 and you will get your answer. Only you have to put the value of NCR minus 1, you have to put the value of R that you have taken. See here we have taken whole R, means R minus 1 as whole R, so now see we have to put the value of R here, means R minus 1. Okay, so in this case in this type of sums you have to find the coefficient of these consecutive terms. It means consecutive term means except the consecutive terms R plus 1, R plus 2. In this case you have to take the first term. Okay, whatever term may be given, you have to take the first term whole as R, then you have to split it as NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1, and you have to put the value of R here, that is here we have taken R minus 1. So see in this way you can find the coefficient of consecutive terms. I think you have understood. Now you put the formula, you have to take the ratio, you will put the formula, and after solving you will get two equations and you will get your answer. See now according to the problem you have to arrange, and after arranging you can write the ratio and you can solve this. See here this formula has been used. You see NCR by NCR minus 1, that is N minus R plus 1 by R, NCR by NCR minus 1, this formula, this ratio you have to take, this formula you have to use here. Okay, NCR minus 1, NCR R here is R minus 1, NCR minus 1, that is R minus 1 minus 1. Okay, now put the formula, you will get your answer. Okay, so please repeatedly I am telling you, find the difference, you have to understand the difference between this quotient and this quotient, between these terms that you have learned in the according to the formula, and between the coefficient of consecutive terms that is given to you. Okay, you have to take the first term as whole R, then you have to arrange it as NCR minus 1, NCR plus 1. Then you have to put the value of R, that is the first term. Okay, so I think you have understood the difference between these two questions, how to find the coefficients of any given consecutive terms. Okay, so now see the last question. This is very important also. See the last question, this very long question, but this is very easy. Okay, this is the very easy question. Maybe it some long answer type question, but it is very easy. And this is the last question, important question. You just see properly. The third and fourth and fifth terms in the expansion of x plus a whole to the power n are respectively given 84, 280 and 560, and you have to find the values of x, a, n. Now see here we have to what? Here we have to deal with the consecutive terms. Here we have to deal with the consecutive terms. So now see the consecutive terms, the value of consecutive terms are also given to T3, T4, T5. Very good. Then see we have learned this formula TR plus 1 by TR. Okay, for consecutive terms, what will be the ratio? N minus R plus 1 by R into A by X. We have already learned this formula. So now apply this and you have to solve then. Now apply, you will get T4 by T3 and T5 by T4, and according to the formula you see we have arranged it. You have to put the value and we have to solve. See, after solving you will get two values of A by X. Now equate these two values. After equating these two values, simple thing, you will get the value of n. If you get the value of n, then put n here. Okay, put the value of n in one of the equation, then you will get some relation of A, means A and X. Okay, A equals to 2x. Okay, now see, then you have to solve, you have to find the value of A and X. Okay, you have got a relation between A and X, that is A equals to 2x, and you have got the value of n here. Now see, take any term. Okay, suppose I have taken the first term, that is T3 here. Now see, T3 equals to what? T3 equals to 84. This is given, means TR plus 1. Okay, we have already learned TR plus 1 term. So R here will be 2. T2 plus 1 term, that is 84. So R will be here 2. So now you have to write the coefficient here, means the general term that we have already learned. NCR, x to the power n minus R, a to the power R. Now you have to solve. Okay, and you have to put the value of A here. See, A equals to 2x, we have already got this relation, so you have to put the value of A here. If you put the value of A here, you will get x to the power 7 equals to 1, that is x equals to 1. After solving you will get this, and if you got x, then automatically you can find the value of A, that is 2x equals to 2 into 1. So we have got the value n equals to 7, a equals to 2, and x equals to 1. See, this is a very simple question. Okay, here we have to only deal with the terms. Okay, so please, we have already learned the formula of consecutive terms, the ratio of consecutive terms. So now learn this formula of consecutive terms, apply this, solve. Okay, simply you have to solve this step by step and we will get your answer. And here is your end of this chapter. Okay, I will come with a video of this of the revision of this binomial theorem chapter. Okay, I will come with the video of the quick revision of this binomial theorem chapter. So this is the end of your chapter. So okay.